and welcome to another episode of Pakistani Profile. When it came to introducing my guest for today, I really did not know where to start from and where to end. He is a legend of advertising in Pakistan, a famous politician, an intellectual, a writer, and a filmmaker. I have with me Javed Jabbar. You no doubt, sir, are the jack of trade. Now, we will proceed to your career, but starting off, I want a bit of information about your early days of life, your childhood, your educational background.
My God, how can you inflict that on those poor, innocent, misguided people who are going to make the mistake of watching this? But very quickly, how do you talk about childhood? Childhood is such a great phase of one's life. You know, you're setting out on this big adventure. It was exciting. The childhood was great. Two marvelous parents who couldn't get along with each other. And I was blessed by both of them. My mother, Zain Mahal Khurshid, I give her the infinite credit of guiding me to the writing table and telling me, start writing at the age of 9. And that opened a whole new world for me. Her insistence that I should think in creative terms and start writing at an early age. And the moment my first poem was published in a magazine called Sunshine, I was delighted. I said, this is what I want to do. So writing was one of the main memories I carry away from my childhood. Yeah. And my father is the one who also insisted that I read all the time. So writing and reading were given to me by my parents, and I've tried to do justice to those two. We had a very colorful childhood, full of movement from Madras, where I was born, Hyderabad, Deccan, to which my father belonged. Hyderabad, Deccan was a great kingdom. It was. You know, ruled by a man called Usman Ali Khan, the 7th Nizam, who in his time was the world's richest man. And he was also a very eccentric man. He used to gift universities and public hospitals and so on. But personally, he led a very austere life. He wouldn't darn his socks, wouldn't change his shirt for whatever. He wasn't unhygienic, but he was completely careless about his person. Anyway, so one came from that kind of a land which had its own currency, its own flag, its own railways, a very syncretic culture where everyone's religion was respected, very harmonious. Anyway, and then tragically, when India invaded Hyderabad, Deccan and took it over by force in September '48, my father was dismissed by the Indians, and we then moved to Pakistan. And grew up here, and then went back for some time to be with my mother when my parents divorced. But I've been here permanently since 1958, when you were presumably up in heaven. In 1958, you had certainly not arrived on this planet. But anyway, and it's been a roller coaster since then. Discovering friends and, you know, discovering new places in Pakistan, overseas, because life is so full of
so you had a lot of experiences in your childhood.
And one is continuing. Childhood never leaves you.
It does.
You know? Because say when I walk past a bakery, I can never forget the thrill of going into a bakery with my mother and choosing the delicious looking pastries. So alas, even now I succumb to that temptation. If I'm in a street where there's a nice bakery or a sweet shop, my sweet, not tooth, sweet teeth summon me towards that pastry. So childhood is a permanent condition of the mind. One part of you should never grow up. You know, that's the whole point of life.
Yeah, I think that's the part of life that you enjoy then.
Absolutely.
Right. Now, talking about your career, you are considered as the guru of the advertising in Pakistan. Tell me about your experience. Why did you choose this field for your career?
In university, one always ran out of pocket money within the first 10 days. And I was always broke. And one friend of mine, knowing I loved writing, said, "Why don't you write some advertising? We'll make some money." Oh, so I said, what a good idea. And lo and behold, it got me money. While I was a student, I started writing advertising for people, advertising agencies.
Right.
And that was an excellent supplement. And then I realized that while there were other interests that I wanted to pursue, whether it was the arts, direction, acting, journalism, these would not pay me enough to lead a reasonably secure and comfortable life. And you know, life needs to be minimally comfortable and secure in order to enable you to do the things you want to do. So advertising was to me the best option where you could do something creative, because the creativity demanded by advertising is also tremendous.
It's a whole new world in it.
And you have to compress content into 30 seconds or 15 seconds, or a small advertisement.
It's very challenging.
Yeah. So that's why I went into it, where the creative dimension was tested and it materially was rewarding. And it enabled me to continue my interest in filmmaking and documentaries and writing for the newspapers.
But this show was very time consuming, as in advertising in itself, then writing, then filmmaking. How did you manage them all in one go?
I decided many centuries ago that one will never say, "I don't have the time." That is the worst thing that one can do. How do you have the time? Time is the only thing I have. Here I am chatting with you. I've got time. I've got time. So it's up to you how you use the time.
Right.
The moment you say, "I have the time and this is what I want to do with my time," you will find that you're able to do what you want to do.
Right. Agreed.
And I have not had a problem doing very diverse things and enjoying them, finding them fulfilling, and also testing your ability and developing your ability. So each new sphere one enters into, it's like a challenge to oneself.
Yeah.
Can one do this in the given quantum of space or time? Can one do it better? Whether it is public service work, or whether it is writing, or whether it's appearing on television or making a film. Pakistan's first English language film, Beyond the Last Mountain, which you haven't seen.
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen. I hope you saw Ramchand Pakistani.
I did.
Good, thank you. Directed by Mehreen Jabbar.
Yeah, I did.
But written and produced by me.
you.
Yes, so I hope that you see our next film too.
Right.
It should be coming.
Talking about your writing career, is there any particular focus that you try and cover in your books?
So far, 14 anthologies of my writings have been published, but my original full-length book, which is not a collection, but an original book, has come out recently, Pakistan Unique Origins, Unique Destiny, with a question mark. Now, I cover a wide range of subjects. My interest in writing consists of covering politics, international affairs, culture, media, travel, and anything that catches my fancy. If there's something interesting worth writing about, I write about it.
Right.
So broadly speaking, those are the 5 main areas, but environment has been also a major concern since I served the IUCN.